Breaking news. Philadelphia Eagles offensive coordinator, who was once the offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, has decided to take the head coaching job for the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints is the only team that didn't have a head coach. Now they get their guy. It was speculated for a while now that Kellen Moore would become the head coach. I didn't believe it. And the reason why I didn't believe it is because I never really been a believer of Kellen Moore. He looked up and got that job as the Dallas Cowboys offensive coordinator. That didn't work out well. The only reason why it worked in Philly because they got Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, the best running back in football. So that's why that worked. And they got the best offensive line. So he didn't even have to call any plays. Just hand the ball to Saquon Barkley. Because when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles offense, Jalen Hurts don't be throwing that ball like that. 75% of their offense is running the ball. Running the ball with Hurts and handing that ball to Saquon Barkley. Like they gonna do for the Super Bowl. Saquon Barkley birthday too. You know they're gonna be feeding him. You know? So, man, like it had no choice but to work with Philly. Going to the New Orleans Saints, I'm going to try to be not so harsh. But the New Orleans Saints is probably the worst team in football. They're the worst team in their division. Their offensive line iffy. Derek Carr, he got good numbers, good stats when you look at his stats, but he's an average quarterback. Who's their defensive coordinator? They got no wide receivers crossed that other than Chris Olave and Rashid. That's two slot receivers who they got as their main receivers. Who your tight ends? Taysom Hill hurt every year. Every year, twice a year. Look at your defense. Your defense then got old and slow. That's the reason why Dennis Allen was fired. He ain't got nothing to work with. Cameron Jordan, Demario Davis, they done got too slow. It's time to replace them guys. But the New Orleans Saints are one of the most dysfunctional organizations. They not going to see it how we see it. They think them guys still got like 3 or 4 years left in them. When I seen Cameron Jordan regressing every year. It's easy to play the Saints. They play that man-to-man coverage, and the DBs be getting cooked. They play good sometimes. Why you think Marshawn Lattimore is with Washington? He knew to get up out of there. He got cooked in the playoffs too. Look at Zach Braun. Zach Braun played for Philly. He got a chance to go win a Super Bowl. He was with the Saints. He got up out of there. You see what I'm saying? And another thing, the Saints are not a good team at drafting well. Their last 3 drafts been awful, in my opinion. It been awful. They do not draft well at all. Another thing, they don't have depth on this team. Your starters are not really good, and behind them, you got no reliable players. So, any starter go down, you're cooked. I'm only being honest, folks. I'm from down here. I know what I'm talking about. I got people from Louisiana that root for this team. They can't stand the mess that's going with this team. Another thing, they lost their special team coach. You know what I'm saying? He gone. So you bringing in Kellen Moore, a guy who I never seen talk. Every time you see him, he covering his mouth up with the play chart sheet. I don't even know how this guy sounds. Now you telling him to become a leader amongst men. We're gonna see how that worked for you. When you look at the owner, Gail Benson, she always overpays for guys who are past their prime. Mickey Loomis, he don't know how to run the team. He the reason the team in the state that it's in. And Gail Benson refuses to fire the guy. You know, This a puppet move. Kellen Moore ain't gonna have no say-so cross there. Last year, the offense was under Clint Kubiak. They did good the first 4 games and they fell off. Now you bringing in a whole new system with Kellen Moore. It's not really a system. All they do is run the ball. You need players to run his system. And the Saints, they don't have them right now. You know? The D-line gets no pressure on the quarterback. And all they got at linebacker is Pete Warner and the old Demario Davis. It's not enough. Not only that, Alvin Kamara, a lot of people like Alvin Kamara. I'm 50-50 on the guy. His effort is not always where it needs to be. You know, he just got his money or whatever a year or two ago. But when I look at him, he don't really want to be in New Orleans, you know. You feel me? The first chance he get, he's out of New Orleans. And I don't think he's the running back that you need to run Kellen Moore's system. If Kellen Moore think he about to come to New Orleans and have at least half the success that Saquon Barkley had, he wrong. He might as well tear that contract up because in my opinion, it will not work. The Saints are not good, man. Kellen Moore got a rude awakening once he get there. Real talk. Their secondary not really good like that. He gonna have to revamp the whole team. In order to do that, all their draft picks must be gems. Guys that gonna come in right away and make an impact on the game. And like I mentioned, Mickey Loomis ain't been good at drafting for the last few years, folks. He's not good at scouting talent at all. He gonna see Derek Carr, average quarterback. You know, he couldn't succeed with Dak Prescott. You think he gonna succeed with Derek Carr? Ain't no way. Derek Carr lacks the IQ to be a above average quarterback, in my opinion. Just facts. The Saints are stuck with his big contract that they gave him. They overpaid for that guy. And it's hurting the team. They still hurting the team. That's why they're in the hole that they're in right now. You know? Y'all let me know, though, in the comment section. Will this move work out? Can Kellen Moore turn the Saints around? Because this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? This guy accepted a new head coaching job the night before the Super Bowl. Your focus should be on trying to win a Super Bowl, bro. You never know how you gonna feel if you win. You might want to run it back. That lets you know Philly gonna lose the Super Bowl, and he know it. You don't make no move like this the night of the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. Y'all gotta read between the lines, folks. This is just something you don't do. You telling the team goodbye already. You might as well don't show up to the Super Bowl.